Yeah, welcome you all to this meetup. This is the third meetup, October meetup. Today it's on a Sunday because yesterday was a little bit. Usually I plan to do this on Saturdays. I'm not sure if you prefer this on Sundays or Saturdays. Yeah, so welcome you all here. And we'll show what we are going to do today. Oh, it's still the old date here, but it's okay, no problem. We go, as usual, we go through the current development activities, showing some achievements. Then we are talking about planned development activities. And then we have two things here, a little bit minor, is the sneak preview of the version 1.3 of the Phoenix desktop wallet. I'm a little bit overdue with that. So according to our roadmap, this will be, I think there will be in the beginning of this week, the new release. And then there's something much more important. We're talking about the Speedway hard fork. This I will hand over to Joss probably then. Just a small reminder, we have still, I think so Delirium may confirm that we have still the raffle going on. So probably I can show that. Is it still running, Delirium?
Yes, it's running and ends at block 816.
Let me see that. Signum. Promo. Verso app. I think it's here. So you can still participate here. You have the way, for example, to open the Phoenix wallet if you have them installed, and then I would prefill all the things here, like a keep linking. So sending to that account here, I already described that in the channel a few minutes ago, and sending that one, or using just the promo page. You could even use the QR code on the mobile wallet, or even easier, just click the button, should work out there. And at the end of that, there will be reveal of the winner. It's not much that's to win, but we will do this in the future a little bit more, kind of promo raffles and all this stuff. So back to our current development activities. I'm still working on maintenance and feature implementation on the Phoenix wallets according our roadmap. Just like let me post your the link in the chat. Is it? We don't have a chat here right now, so doing that in here in the dev channel, Jeff General channel. And yeah, so I'm really close to a release. I had to revamp all this stuff for the dashboard principally, and some major features are better token support, a bunch of token bug fixes, new dashboards, as I said, multiple dashboards. There's something going on that's interesting. We started with the NFT portal. So the community was eager to see something going on there. So architecture-wise, we have it defined. And we have already people working on that. Let me see if I just can show you rapidly, probably the so it's not here on that one, it's the other one. So many things here. Let me see. So the first preview, to have an idea how it will look like, something like that. Starting on that, there's our front-end developer, IPR 030, iPro. I call him iPro. So he's working on the front-end part, while I'm doing part of the back-end implementation, some additional features for faster lookup and all the things. Details we will have in the future. So this is ongoing development at this moment. I think this is pretty interesting. There's still rebranding issues of peripheral apps and services. This will be almost an eternal story. Yeah, and one thing for sure, the implementation for upcoming hard fork is already done, if I'm not wrong, Joss, or how far we are.
No, it's all implemented and available in this release we made a few minutes ago. We can discuss more about that.
Yeah, awesome. I think somebody, Uskuk, I will mute him. He has some background noise here. I think it's him. No, it's another person. Who is it?
I just
Heuschrecke.
muted them.
Heuschrecke.
Heuschrecke. Okay, cool. So the achievement so far is the Speedway hard fork implemented. We can talk about this. We will talk about this a little bit later. As I said, plant development activities, they're discussing this frequently in the channel. There was recently the discussion about YubiKey support, trying to compare this with Ledger. I mean, I can give some details on that. YubiKey is not meant to be a wallet in that term. I use a specific, or I intend to use a specific feature of that specification, which makes a two-factor authentication instead of entering the PIN. So there will be a random PIN stored on the device, and it can be used by touching that. So this is the idea. So it's a little bit more improved security. I mean, it's already pretty secure on my understanding, but it's not a ledger support. And we had issues in the past. We started to implementing on Nano Ledger, for example. But so this was more done by Harry and Joss. So, but we had issues because they closed the SDK or something like not uploading apps anymore to the device. Maybe we can talk about this a little bit later. There is something paper wallet. Actually, I will show you in the sneak preview that there's something similar to that already. Not really a paper wallet. Payment subscription will come. Smart contract publishing will come still. We have the open iOS version. Due to the lack of hardware in my household, still that. Yeah, I know. I feel the pressure by the community. I have to do something. Yeah, there are more going on. Signum.js documentation interfaces needs to be revamped. I need to do some updates regarding some methods because of the upcoming hard fork. And there are more tools that are coming, for example, command line interface. These are things I already showed in the previous session. So these are still ongoing things, still planned. Yeah, that's so far. Any questions so far, probably from your side? Okay, no. Yeah, at this moment, probably we have. Oh yeah, before I start with the sneak preview, I would just hand over to Alexander. I think he has some updates on the bots, on the Telegram bots. If you want to, so it's your moment right now.
Well, this is a Telegram Signum bot that is created by Visk. He's Russian speaker, but he gave me a word to represent his bot. And you can see the links. This presentation will be able in general chat. I will share it later. So all the links are clickable to be easy to add the bot. And now I'll talk about the main feature. And you can add your bot and link your wallet and track all the activities of your wallet. Receive all notifications, even messages, block catching, and here's the information that the notifications you can see. It's able now. We did last time update, and we now can see bull updates. It was added recently, so you can see your mining stats about all your deadlines, your blocks, and etc. You can receive immediately notifications as soon as the transaction is proceed. And here's example of non-encrypted messages and adding commitment. When you got encrypted message, then in the message field will be written that the message is encrypted, no additional text. So here's the example of pool miner statistics, and you can see all the detailed information. To get the notifications, you have to turn reduce deadlines and daily reports. Daily reports are generally sent at 12 UTC, and reduced deadlines is help miners to know when one of machine turned off and the deadlines is lowering, and he can fix it in a time, and this can help miners to track their miners without walking on the pool and watching their fishing capacity or physical capacity. Also, you can turn on notifications, different types of notifications you can see on the screen to receive. There's also option to explore some wallets. You can add 5 wallets to explore, and it will help you to follow the wallets. For example, tracking Bittrex stacks. It's useful when I see someone's moving, someone Signa want to sell or want to buy, and every type of wallet has its own settings, so it's flexible to use it. There's also calculator, and with calculator you can calculate approximate mining profit. For example, you got um, some hard drive and you want to know how much money you'll earn, how much signals will you earn with commitment. Also, useful feature is cost terabyte plus cash. You can calculate how much money you can spend on mining, and it will show you the best ratio between capacity and commitment.
Cool.
Here's
Cool.
the example of commitment and capacity. I took 65 terabyte and some commitment. Here you can see required commitment terabyte, how it looks like, how much commitment do you need to get 8 commitment factor. It's too much, yeah. And cost per terabyte and cash, how it works. For example, we got $1,000 and our cost of terabyte in our city is $30, and we get best ratio between capacity and commitment.
Cool.
Here is the network statistics. It's useful for planning your commitment, because we track not only daily network difficulty, but weekly and monthly. And it's really helpful to plan your future commitment activity. While new option is to see all the list of the pools, and the links are clickable. You can see how much blocks were catched for the last day and total capacity. And unique feature is solo miners, that we can receive all the information about solo miners and approximate physical and efficient capacity of them. Also, there is option to see the market price, and there's 2 options to see the exchanges where we can buy and sell, and the prices and the volume of the day. And the second option is to see different currencies, how costing. For example, in Russian chat, it will be Russian rubles and Ukrainian hryvnias. Also, additional information. And we have integration. Our bot integrated into groups, Russian and English, and it allows us to have reputation, weekly rewards, and conduct various prize drawings. Rating is triggered by some trigger words that you can see on the screen. It's you have to reply on someone's message that you think that this information was helpful, and the user will get some plus to his or her reputation. Here is the example how it works. So he replied me with a trigger word, thank you, and I got the first place of reputation.
Cool.
So weekly reward is shared 175 Signas, and it's shared between all the users. If all users take the same position, it's shared equally. And the best option is support. Bot is donation. Feel free to donate and support our weekly rewards and prize drawings. Thank you for your attention. That's it.
Wow, that's a lot of things that this bot can do. It's an army of bot, a bot army. Are there any questions from the community members about this bot specifically? About this awesome piece, it's entirely independently developed by the core team. Awesome, I like it very much. Any questions so far?
Yes, I have a question, maybe a bit lost, but do we have a GitHub page for it or information about the website or somewhere to know more about the bot? It looks really cool. I'm looking forward to also including some other channels in my own language and also give some rewards to people that are contributing to it.
Well, thank you for your question. There's an information button with all bots options. There's no on GitLab, but or GitHub, you can connect to the creator of this bot and to talk to him. I think that's not a problem to integrate in your chats.
I think this is a valid point. I mean, in this term, just about talking about open source and GitHub. So as we are on a decentralized and community and trustless and all that, this open source thing is something we should emphasize much more, because the transparency of the code and the possibility that people can look into it is something really important. So maybe the developer would, from my technical perspective, I would use GitHub just to control the versions of my code and make all the check-ins and all the commits and push it the way I want to and automate that. This could be interesting. So if he needs some help on pipelines, I don't think so, because making that bot shows that he's pretty competent in the things. But having this open source would be, would raise the reputation a little bit, I think so, and make it more trustworthy, I think so. So the developer should consider that. I think this is a valid request.
Yeah, well, thank you. I'll do the request to add on GitHub.
Awesome. Go on, Max.
I was just going to ask, this bot is just for Telegram, correct? There's no plans on developing one for Discord?
There is no plans, but if there's any requests, I can ask also the developer to think about this opportunity to add this bot in Discord if there are any requests.
Any more questions? If not so, then we can go over to the sneak preview of the new node of the new version. Yeah, of the new version of that. Just a moment.
I just want to
Yep.
I just want to add that a cool feature of these bots in Telegram is to monitor also smart contracts. So you can check if the smart contracts receiving or sending messages with the bots.
Yeah. Cool. And one more point: if you have GitHub, people can open feature requests. I'm a fan of GitHub, so okay. Cool. So let's go over to this Phoenix. Yeah. Let me see. Where is it? Where is it? I have it somewhere here. So many screens. Let me see that. Now this is the other one. There it is. Seeing that? The stream running. Everybody can see that.
Yeah, no.
Not really.
Not.
I
I can see it.
Yeah.
I can
Oh.
see now.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
Cool. This is a pre-work. This was an idea that came up together with some feature requests because many people said, okay, for example, I remember that the chart is interesting, but we revamped it a little bit and to making it fitting a little bit nicer. There were more requests, and there's still a bug with that for pool rewards. I know that. But there are further information, and now we have the possibility that we can switch between simplified user interface, for example, for not users which are just starting walking around in the Signum ecosystem. Right now, there's the power user one. This is the current version. There will be kind of more additions. So interestingly, to show, for example, the price changes, and due to the request of our Russian friends, I added the ruble here, so this could be interesting for them also. There is still a request for making individual currencies available. So for me, for example, Brazilian real would be kind of interesting, while we have people from Canada wants to see Canadian dollar or Australian dollar, whatever. This will come later because it needs a little bit more individual setting. This is something that's came up with the token support here. So you can see here, there is an estimated total balance of tokens in Signa. Of course, we know we have some spammed tokens, or like tokens which are kind of, not that interesting probably, or somebody tried that. But this is the new interface for the token, and there is implemented the token transfer. We think that it doesn't make sense to support a fully fledged exchange here because we have this already with BTDEX. Though it makes no sense to have it duplicated in feature stuff here inside, so we want to make it more specialized for all the things. This is one of the things that changed and said, okay, simple. There will be still a mine.
So are you sharing your screen, because I can't see anything?
I am sharing my screen.
Yeah, I see the Signum Speedway hard fork slide.
Oh,
Yeah, for me too. Only that.
oh, guys, okay, I'm sorry for that. Okay, then I failed epically, but it's no problem. Let me see. I will stream.
No worries, man.
I thought it would be the entire screen which I'm sharing. So let's do that like that way. So sorry for that. So I have to repeat this a little bit. So here it is. Now you should see the Phoenix wallet. I'm sorry for that. Very sorry.
Yeah, now we see it.
Okay. Oh, I was talking. Nobody told me. Yeah. Okay. What we have here is we can select between several profiles. I remember back in the days I had a discussion with Blank if we want to make it configurable, but he said from his own experience it's not good if we have like movable widgets. But I think a good in-between thing is like having static selectable math dashboards. So starting for users with a simple dashboard which just like have minimal stuff of information for people who just like onboarding on Signum. So there will be a power user dashboard which is going much further, showing integration with the API from CoinGecko. As I already mentioned that in the voice, there is now standard support for our Russian friends because there's a huge community. So we need to take that into account. Individual things will come later. We have this token support here. Balance is now, in my case, as I have committed almost everything on this account into my mining stuff, it looks like that. But you can imagine, for example, sorry, delete term, just like used yours. So you can see that you have here the pie charts, and it will look similar on that part here. You can go over to my tokens directly from here, or also from here, and you see you have these tokens. As I'm just watching that account right now, I cannot do anything. So if I switch back to Oliver, that's me. So you can see all these tokens here with the option to transfer. As I said, there won't be any huge exchange built in for the mentioned reasons. There will be a miner dashboard, which is not right here now. And later on, not for the version 1.3, there will be a trader dashboard. We have some review or prototypes on that. Though I will still add some quick shortcuts on that. So I removed that from the toolbar in the top, and we'll put this more in the dashboard so people can act faster. This, for example, will be kind similar to the mining information. We'll see if I can integrate with the pools, but I don't want to have too much coupling with pool software. Probably I have to think of it a little bit. But that's the idea. And then the later one will be kind of trading view charts coming inside and having an overview for more trading interested people. So that's the idea of that. Additional feature that comes in, there was a request, for example, for importing accounts. We had in the past issues with white spaces. As you can see now, the white spaces are shown here. If I go over, it shows all the white spaces here. So people, for some reason, had these issues or have sometimes these issues. There will be even a print function. I'm not sure if you can see this right now, that there's a pop-up of the print screen, but it works the same way. And for the discussion we had on slightly more improved security is we're going to create a new account generating my passphrase. Then I can add an individual salt here. So it can be kind of alphanumeric thing or just a random salt. And this will be added additionally to the 12 words passphrase, just for the paranoid people amongst us. This will be also something new in the version 1.3. So any questions so far? If not, I'm handing over to the most important part today, which will be the hard fork.
Do you have the date when you're planning to open this version to all users?
I'm overdue, since the roadmap says that should have been released 3 days ago, but this will be for this week, so this upcoming week. So I hopefully I can do this maybe until Wednesday. There is kind of will be an updated and a small improved or a bug fixed version of the Android wallet, and yeah. So this was something in parallel I was working on. So expectation is this week. Cool. And there it is. The hard fork is coming. Joss, would you like to take over?
Yeah, I can comment a bit about this upgrade we are having in about 2 weeks. At least this is the idea. We have set a fork block or upgrade block for this, which is part of our plan to make our chain more usable and efficient. We have some nice things, new things, which are very original in the sense they are very simple, but no other chain actually has that. For instance, I think a new feature which we call carbon contracts is something very, very interesting. Regardless if you like or not, the NFTs, tokenization of our economy or everything will be something that we will probably see. And if you think about it, every time you create a contract to tokenize something, you just reuse the same code, same contract code, same rules, and need to publish those rules and that code many times on the chain, and then you're just wasting space. And so we came up with a new method to deploy a contract in which you just attach a reference to another contract which is already on the chain. And so you deploy a new contract, for instance, a new NFT, with zero code. So you take zero transaction space, you take zero blockchain space in history, because you need to start that forever. And that's very, very simple, but very clever, and no one other platform has that. And so I think that will be something very interesting. No duplicated code on the chain, and so you can have thousands of contracts in a single.
Guys, I just will have to jump in. Here's a thunderstorm coming on. I hopefully that there will be no issue with the internet or with the electricity. So if for some reason all the transmission stops, then it's because I'm having a thunderstorm here. Okay, just to say that, and I have to advise you. Sorry, this is not foreseeable. Wow,
Okay.
it's really stormy.
So, should I continue? Yeah.
Yeah, you can continue that. So let's say hopefully that the infrastructure will stay here, but yeah, sometimes. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So this one is one of the main features we will have. This carbon contracts tested already on testnet, and so we can deploy hundreds of contracts in a single block, since they take very, very little space. You don't need to attach the code, which is usually what takes more bytes. And now we will be able to deploy over 600 contracts using this technique in a single block, and so many thousands in a few minutes, which is again something that you don't find in any other chain. I don't know if people wants to ask any questions about this, or should we move forward? Please, our guests, you are all welcome to comment, to discuss.
Yes, I have a question. It's about the fees to deploy a contract. Is that the same? Is the same fee to deploy a contract with these carbon contracts?
The fee is the same for everything you still use. Like there is a fee for the number of pages of memory the contract will use, but the fee that is charged for the code, that fee is in that case zero. So also the fees, they are reduced a lot by deploying contracts this way, because you don't pay the fees for the code. Since you're not taking any space for that. So bottom line, the fees are actually reduced when you publish contracts this way.
I think that's a pretty cool feature. Go on, Justin.
Yeah, and another cool feature we actually enable is people don't actually need to compile code or anything, because if you take a code someone else already deployed, you just point to that code and it's already on the chain, so you don't need to know anything about writing a contract, loading a contract, or compiling, building the machine code, anything. You just point to an existing contract, and there you go.
Yeah, and this fits very well with the idea of this NFT portal we're starting to, because we expect to have a lot of artworks in that case that are being deployed. Awesome, yeah.
Cool. Any other questions, comments, please?
Yeah, so in terms of
open your...
really quickly,
Go ahead.
I see this for obviously for the NFTs, But so an artist who's minting like, several hundred, if not 1,000 versions of the same piece of art is going to have way less fees because all of the stuff that's the same is going to just be from one source code, and only the variations will be different, correct?
Exact. You have the code, since it is the same. You will not need to publish that again. But of course, NFTs, for instance, they have variations, features, tags, and those differences you'll still publish. And so they will be all different. They will be in a different state. They will have different owners, different prices, or anything else creator of that contract designed. But the code, which is all the same, we will save that space. Exactly. Anything else on this subject? Please feel free. And we can go back later if you want also.
I think there are no questions, maybe. So what else will be there in the hot fork?
Okay, we can take a look on the other two things we will change. We had this our proof of commitment consensus that was all new, and there was a lot of questions and doubt how it would actually work in the wild. And so after a few months running it, we have empirical data from the chain, and so we found points we can improve. And one thing everybody noticed was that the average commitment was oscillating too much. If you can scroll down to our chart, Oliver, please. This is the testnet average commitment. Numbers are way higher than mainnet, because on testnet everybody has, we have very few miners, and they have a lot of coins, so they commit millions and millions. And what we see here is we have the average commitment oscillating a lot. And after the fork we did on testnet, you see it now is way more stable. It was after block 339. And so this is accomplished actually using more blocks in the past to make the averages. And other few changes we also introduced. Like we had only 2 ways to measure a miner's capacity, which was we use 1 day. And if the miner has found more than 2 blocks in the past 360 blocks, which is 1 day. And then that time window is used to estimate the miner's capacity, and when the miner is in this very thin window, like you for 2 blocks, but you're a small miner still, and so the chain will believe you're a big miner, but that only lasts for a day. And we only had 2 ways to measure, or either 360 blocks or 3 months, which is 1 day or 3 months. And now we have 3 different measures, like in 1 day, 4 days, and 3 months. And so things will become more smooth. And combined with the average commitment being more smooth also. And so we will see, we hope, we expect to see, and we have already data from our testnet, that everything will become more smooth and more stable. And so people will not see those spikes, which we clearly still see on our mainnet, and we don't see anymore on our testnet, which is already running these new rules. And the last thing we changed is when you just join mining, the chain has no way to know how many terabytes do you have. And so it assumes you have only 1 terabyte. And that leads some people with the temptation to replot capacity after forging a block with that ID and potentially have a better chance with that, having your commitment being more giving you a better return. And that's something we clearly don't want, is people replotting, and because that would go against everything we believe in, sustainability and green mining, which is you store your plots and you don't waste again energy, and you don't hurt your hard drives plotting again. And there is also the issue of trying to generate on the fly in memory using GPUs. And so we had some independent analysis, and that pointed out that this 1 terabyte is actually a security problem because of these issues. And so we had to increase that, and the number was 8 terabytes as assumed capacity if you never mined a block. That increased a bit the enter barrier, but still nothing too aggressive, I think. The last thing we changed, and we can discuss all these points, are the fees, which are very frequently a point of criticism about our chain. Is why the hell we have a lot of unconfirmed transactions waiting if we have a lot of block space. And for every one used to other chains, that's a fair question, because all other chains or most chains don't do that. If you have space on your block, you just confirm transactions. And so we adjust that, and to avoid spam, now if you send a transaction that takes more space, that is the case that you need to pay more fee. And so if you want to send long messages for all users, as we had recently, people just spamming you with messages you don't want and long texts attached, they need to pay more fee if they want to do that. And so this is all described on this document. Maybe we can have that a link for it. I don't know if this is.
It's still a dark.
Public.
No, it's not public yet, but it will be published in a few moments. Oh, probably still today.
No, it's already published.
Oh.
Just to say, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's there.
But go there.
I just.
Great.
Yeah.
Did you send a link for us on?
Yes, both.
Not yet.
Where is it? Artwork here. You already sent it, so I don't need to send this in the channel, right? Frank?
No, not in this channel. I just I will send it in the channel now. I will do it now.
Oh, okay. You're the guy.
Great. So these are the main features, and then we can continue discussing it. Please feel free to.
Yeah. Just to sum up.
Ask questions.
Yeah, sum up a little bit the improvements which we have. So we will have new feature regime. That means that we can, in certain circumstances and certain scenarios, we have a little bit more to pay because it depends on payload. But the big gain is that our throughput in the chain will be much better than it was with the slot fee system we had before. The other thing is the POC plus polishing. You said that that there are kind of a better estimations to reduce the oscillation of the commitment average, and also we increased a little bit the entry barriers such that we can omit the possibility that people try to exploit with a GPU mining 1 terabyte plot. So it's a little bit on that. And finally, this unique feature that we can use copies or referencing to existing contracts, their code only, such that we can deploy a lot of contracts in a very short time without occupying much more block space or even blockchain space in general. So this are the main improvements of the upcoming hard fork. It is estimated for the block 941,100 which is around the 23rd of October. Any questions so far? No. Okay. We could go on with our question Q&A if we want to. Probably we can already reveal who won the raffle, the Ethereum. Are you prepared for that? Can you say something about that?
Oh yes, we have a winner. I sent on Dev General. Is the account is, it starts with SBNUE.
Okay. Congrats to that account. How many participants we had?
We had 25 participants.
Okay.
And 4 participants do not participate because this, they sent the message just after the close of the draw.
Yeah, okay. In the future, I mean, I had some technical issues when I started up and then promoting that. So shame on me a little bit on that. So we will do this more frequently, more promotional raffles for certain scenarios into this. Yeah, and that will be announced a little bit better. So I'm not sure if the 4 people were rejected because it already closed. So blame me, and I feel guilty for that. Okay, if there's something we want to discuss in general, like question and answers, there's kind of doubts or anything, or feedback, suggestions, which we should consider. Doesn't seem so.
If not, just to mention that our next upgrade will be to extend our smart contract platform, so we can, for instance, support tokens inside the contracts and do a lot of other fun stuff, which we currently can't do. And so the next one will be really a very, very important one, in my opinion. It will open up a lot of more things, like having our like Uniswap-like things inside of our chain, and having again something very interesting. If you take Binance chain as an example, they have the Binance chain where they have the tokens, the native tokens, and they have the Binance Smart chain where they have the smart contracts but don't have native tokens. And we will have both in a single chain, and so I believe that will be very, very interesting to have.
So this would open doors for tokenomics in general and using smart contracts and accessing them, right?
Yeah, exactly.
We still need to work. Just this is up to us. We still need to update this feature roadmap with apart from the Node software.
Yeah,
Phoenix,
sorry about that.
Yeah, and you were very, very busy. I know that. So this is mainly Phoenix related things. But we will feed this regularly, so it's public. Everybody can see how the roadmap is going on. Yeah, you see for the 1.3, many things are already done. This one will become a little bit later because I don't want to wait. We have to talk about this, just how we make this adjust fee selection stuff because of the new fee regime. But this will not be a blocker for release the 1.3 of the wallet in the upcoming week. And before the hard fork is coming, I do that adjustment. So what's still open is the toggle dashboard elements. I just want to add more to improve the layouts. But yeah, next week there will be an update and available, published for everybody. And I'm open for any feedbacks then. And as always, if you have suggestions for improvement on our software, in my case, the wallet, in other case, things about node software, pool software, whatever, don't hesitate. Open feature requests on the GitHub project or ask us and discuss if there's something viable to do so. Some things are not other things are. And if there are not much more questions, so 1 hour is already over, then I would let you in your Sunday weekend, last day, and or any questions so far?
Question.
Go.
I know there was some talk about commitment lending in the past. I was curious if anything more has been discussed and mused on over that from the development team.
I know we had discussed
Sorry,
that,
about
Joss.
commitment. I didn't get the beginning of the question. What about commitment?
Commitment lending, like lending out
Okay,
Signa,
lending.
so people could add to their commitment. I was just curious if anything further was talked about on that topic.
Yeah, it was suggested, and we discussed it a bit. Frank came up with this suggestion. I believe others from the community also think about that, but we are not working on it yet, and maybe it can come along with the other upgrades for the next one. I'm not actually sure how we would do that and what would be the constraints we should add to that, just to avoid, for instance, making very hard for everybody else to mine if we have absolutely no constraints. So we need to study that in detail before having something. Still in the design phase, in the very beginning. I don't know if you want to add to that. Anyone wants to add to that? I don't know.
I think the idea of this lending stuff is now on the normal roadmap on business items, but now we need to discuss stuff on the technical side, right? Like Jose was saying. So in general, I think it's possible. Also, we have a general idea how to do it, but we need to now to play with these options. And as Jose was saying, we have to check that everything's working well, and nobody can hijack this idea in a bad way. Yeah? So we will have some defense wall there, like you need to have your own commitment before you can lend, or you get some lending commitment, and the other way around. So we will have to make some logical framework around.
Yeah, and before I forget, I would like to congratulate our Telegram bot friend. Amazing work. Congratulations on that. Keep with the good working. Thanks.
And if we're already giving kudos to the people here, so I would like to thank iPro. I call you iPro, even your name is like not for the support on the UI things. So the dashboard ideas came up from him, and even he's working as a front-end designer and the front-end developer for the NFT portal. So very valuable contribution on that. I think it. And Deleterium for your amazing work on Smart C and all that stuff, which is so valuable for us. Awesome. And thanks to all, Russian community, all the people around here. Thanks for engagement. This is something that we really need. And hopefully we can continue with that and with that engagement and all this news that's coming up. It starts to being much more active right now than it was in the past. Thank you all for that. And if there are no any more doubts or questions, I would like to close because it's like 1 hour over. We said that it's 1 hour. The recording will be available then later, as usual. And yeah, always open for suggestions. Okay, then I wish you a nice Sunday and a good start in the new week. And the Dev Meetup will be held the next month in the beginning of November. And yeah, stay safe.